Okay, I made it. I'm live. Yay, a little late, but better late than never. Happy Halloween, everybody. First and foremost, happy Halloween and welcome. Yes, I am wearing my Disneyland Halloween mouse ears today because I'm never at Disneyland anymore. And this seemed like the perfect day to actually put them on and wear them because where else am I going to wear Halloween mouse ears other than today? And Shadow is dressed up too. He's down there. I can pick him up and show him to you guys, but I promise you he's not happy about his costume. But hello. Hi, Rachel. Hi, create create music. Oh, I get it. That makes sense. Seaweed. Hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. I hope you're having a very good Halloween today. I'm going to jump into the readings in just a minute because I saw that Rachel already put in a payment, which is normal. I expect that. And somebody else did too. I think that may have been you create music, but I'll double check when I take a look at PayPal. But Rachel did submit her payment first, so she is the first one up for her reading today. But let me show you guys Shadow really quick, and then I'm going to take him out of his Halloween costume because he hates it. And hello, Faye. 71785. It is your 6-year anniversary and you're on the fence. On the fence about what? Your relationship, your anniversary. So Dina. All right, Dina. Good. You know what? I think you mentioned that earlier. Yes, you did. I was just kind of looking at all the names that were popping up in the chat before actually like reading what anyone was saying. I just wanted to say hello and acknowledge everybody and acknowledge that I see you guys. Anyways, let me show you Shadow. And then I'm gonna jump into things because you are so not happy right now. He's so miserable. It's not even funny. So let me get him here. Come here, buddy. Let's show off your costume. He is so not happy. He is Grumpy Bear. He's a grumpy bear today. So, we both had to put on a costume. His hood has fallen off. There's supposed to be like little ear holes here where he can put his ears through, but he's not he's not having it. He got so upset when I put his paws through the costume. Like the elastic around the legs are really tight, so it was hard to get his paws through. And he has small paws, so it's not like he's a big dog with big paws, obviously, but he was not having it. So this is him. He's Grumpy Bear. Would you like to get out of your Grumpy Bear outfit? Yeah. I don't want to make you miserable. So, all right, I'm going to undress him and then I'll get into things. All right, there you go, buddy. No more torture, I promise. He's like, hallelujah. All right, go. You're free. Shake it off. He's so happy. Okay. Anyways, so Faye you're on the fence about your relationship with your husband. Oh, well, that's definitely tricky stuff for sure. But yes, he is like a little baby for sure. Definitely. And I'm so proud of him. I had such a proud dog mom moment. Not yesterday, but the day before that. I found out that he got a prize in the coloring contest in my building. I entered him and put a whole bunch of paw prints, basically. He did like finger painting, but paw painting all over this pumpkin, and he won a prize. So I'm like, yay! So we'll collect the prize tomorrow, which is awesome. Anyways, let me jump into things. So let me get out my cards. I haven't even taken anything out yet because I was like running late just trying to get him into his costume. He was like, no, get me out of this. Freedom. His birthday is actually next week. He's going to be 7, so that's exciting. I will also take out the Halloween Oracle today, because if there's any day to use the Halloween Oracle, today is the day. So we're just going to get things all set here. Right, buddy? Right, Shadow? You're free. You're free. Okay. So let me just scroll back here really quick and see what's happening in the chat before I completely get into things. Otherwise, I think we're ready. Yes. Rachel, your usual. That's what I thought. Just wanted to double check. Okay. So first, for Rachel, we're just going to see what is going on for you in general, whatever it is that you need to know right now at this time. Any special spooky Halloween messages coming in? So let's see what we got. Let's see what's going on for Rachel. All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles coming through. So the Knight of Pentacles, he is the slowest mover in the deck. And I have a feeling we both probably know who this might be in reference to. But yeah, he is the slowest mover in the deck. He really takes his time. But the good thing about him is, even though he's slow, it's the whole thing of slow and steady wins the race. So this one always crosses the finish line. He always finishes what needs to be done. He's trustworthy. He's reliable. He's stable. He's solid. All that good stuff. So he does have good things about him. He just takes a while to get it done, is what it comes down to. So you may be dealing with someone, and I have a feeling it's probably this ex, because he does, take a while to seem to make up his mind to do things. But is most likely in reference to him. He's probably that Knight of Pentacles taking his sweet old time. But he's gonna make it through, is the important thing. He's taking his time, but it's not in vain. It's not for nothing. So let's see what else we have going on besides him and that. We also have the King of Wands. So once again, probably in reference to that same person, that King of Wands, he is full of fire and passion, and he's very charismatic. He kind of has like a big personality and everything. But yeah, so I feel like he's probably kind of a mixture of both of these guys. And especially with that King of Wands energy, this may be initially like why you were attracted to him in the first place, why he first came into your life. Like, he may have come in and, just kind of had a way with words, because the King of Wands, he knows how to talk. He knows the right thing to say. He knows the right way to say it. He knows the right timing of when to say it. So he probably just knew exactly what to say and how to say and kind of draw you in. And I feel like there's that part of him that still is kind of like that with you. So there's still definitely that fire and that passion and that magnetic pull basically going on. And I think it's funny because I know that, every time it's just like, all right, we're just going to see what's going on in general, right? And every time it's still him who wants to pop in, and he's like, hey, Rachel, remember me? Remember me, your ex? I'm still here. And I know you know that, but yeah, he's still coming in, because those knights and those kings are usually representations of that kind of stuff. And we have the Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh, we're getting like all these knights and all these kings right now. So the Knight of Cups is, once again, someone who has their cup of love that they want to give. It is their emotions. That's what the cups are all about. It's all about emotions. And he probably wants to bring in that cup of love to you and offer that to you. And, he's on his way, because the good thing about the knights is, as opposed to the pages are more so into that, just kind of thinking about it, talking about it kind of thing. But knights actually take action. So I do feel like, he's on his way to make that action, is what it comes down to. But he may present his cup to you slowly. Like this probably is not going to happen overnight. And I think you already know that because that's kind of already what's been happening in the situation, but it's not going to happen overnight. But when he does arrive as that Knight of Pentacles, he's going to bring you a solid, steady offer, which is going to be his cup of love. It's not just going to be like here today, gone tomorrow. So the good thing is, he's got that passion with that King of Wands. He's got the stability with the Knight of Pentacles. He's got the love with the Knight of Cups. So those are all good things, all good positive qualities and stuff. He's probably going to take a while though because of that Knight of Cups or Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Cups is there too, but he's not the one who moves slow. And we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords to me is always about going on a journey. And, you and I both know that this is a journey that you're on. And, a lot of the times when we are on this kind of journey, especially a twin flame journey, which, he's basically your person, despite all the ups and downs. At the end of the day, it's not just about the destination. It is about that journey. And whenever I look at this card, I always see it as like, it's you and him who's sitting right here in the boat. And then here's basically God, source, spirit, the divine, pretty much directing and leading the boat along as it crosses this ocean, lake, whatever this is. But it's basically spirit guiding and leading that boat along. And it's spirit leading it along because it's the one that has the oar. The oar is the one that is directing it through the path, through the current. It's not you or him. You and him really kind of don't have any control of the situation at the end of the day. Most of us don't have control of the situation at the end of the day. As human beings, there's only so much that we can do. And then it gets to the point where it's like we kind of have to just like step aside and let God do his thing. And that's what he's trying to do. And even though it can kind of suck because we can get impatient and we're just like, I just want to get to the other side of that ocean already. I just want to get to the other side of whatever this is I'm dealing with right now. You kind of have to enjoy the view, I always think of like, when I would take like those cross-country road trips across country, it was sometimes actually disappointing, not like disappointing, but it was kind of like once I got to my destination, it was kind of like, oh, the trip is over. Like that was kind of fun. It was kind of fun. Like, oh, see the mountains and see this and see that. So we got to learn to enjoy the journey because there is definitely beauty in it. There's something to see along the way. There's something to enjoy there as we're passing by the scenery. There go a bunch of cards. Come here, cards. Hi, Kayanet. Happy Halloween. I'm not doing free questions, but I am accepting questions. So if you do want a question answered, they are $10 or $10 or under. So they're not very much. They're not very much at all. So, like at the very least, you could pay $3, and that would be pretty much an oracle reading. Anyway, let me get one more here for you with the tarot, and then I'll pull some Halloween oracle cards for you. And we have the Hermit. So with the Hermit, the Hermit is all about going within, just kind of spending time with yourself. So I kind of feel like both of you guys may be kind of doing that right now. As you're on this journey, or you're kind of waiting to see where things go and how things pan out and what exactly can be done here. This is probably one of the reasons why he is that Knight of Pentacles, because if he's spending a lot of time going within and kind of checking things out and figuring things out for himself, trying to understand things, then that's going to make the process a little bit longer. But that's not a bad thing. Like, you want him to be able to understand things. You want him to figure out, like, when he does come back as that King of Wands in your life, you don't want him to kind of come back the way he was before, because if he came back the way he was before, then chances are the relationship would just fall apart again, because then it would be like, this is no different than how it was the first time around. Both of you should be better versions of yourself when you guys come back together. So that way, then it lasts, and that way, then it works out. Um, so I feel like the Hermit is probably happening on both sides. Definitely for him, with that Knight of Pentacles, but probably for you as well, because if he's transforming, you're transforming. You're going through things, you're learning, you're understanding things too. You're becoming a better version of yourself. So, the Hermit is definitely not a bad thing. It can be kind of a quiet thing. It's not like a huge action card, but a lot of action can come out of the changes that happen from going within. Let me get some Halloween oracle cards here to see what else we need to know, what's going on generally. And then we'll dive into love, which I'm sure will be kind of a continuation of what we've already got here, but that's all right. We have forgiveness, reducing burden. So it seems like maybe one of the things that both of you kind of need to address in terms of that hermit mode and going within, maybe there's some unresolved resentment that maybe you each have towards each other. A lot of the times we don't necessarily always realize it on the surface. It could be more on a subconscious level, but that doesn't mean that it's not there. So maybe part of this time of going within right now could be about figuring out, like, what is it that I'm still holding on to against him? Like, what did he do to hurt me that maybe I'm still upset over, that I haven't completely said, you know what, I forgive you, not for you, but for me. So that way, then, I'm not the one who's keeping myself in prison over this. And he could be going through that same process over things with you, because it takes two to tango. Chances are neither one of you were probably perfect towards one another in the past when you were together. You're both flawed, imperfect people. So you guys probably both, did things on each side of the fence where, it's just like, oh, well, I hurt you, you hurt me. And most of the time when that happens, especially if it is a divine connection, it's not a toxic situation. Most of the time when that happens, the person who's hurting you is not doing that on purpose. Most of the time when we hurt people, we don't even know it. It's not like we're intentionally setting out and like making our plans in the day. And like, it's like the Grinch where, it's like he pulls out the phone book and he's like, hate, 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 loathe entirely. It's not like anyone really sets out there and does that. So chances are you guys were not doing that to each other, but that doesn't mean that you didn't rub each other the wrong way at some point, somewhere in your relationship. So maybe kind of um, going within could be taking you down that journey and be just like, okay, where may things be a little unsettled still, where I need to get past this and he needs to get past this, because if that stuff is still lingering, it could be preventing him from making that Knight of Pentacles movement there, which is kind of slow as it is. And we have invisibility, authenticity. So this is kind of interesting. I kind of get like a double meaning almost from this card for you. So in a lot of ways, with the invisibility side of it, it's kind of like he's not really an active part in your life right now, but he's still very much so there. He's very much so present. Even though he's not like physically visible in a sense, he's invisible, but he's very visible in the sense of being present, like on that spiritual level, on having that connection. So I feel like number one, it definitely explores that idea. And then secondly, with it saying authenticity, um, once again, I feel like being in that hermit mode is teaching you both to become the most authentic and real versions of yourselves. So that way, then, when you guys do wind up coming back together, when you do wind up working things out with one another, it's not like you guys are just, putting on some kind of act towards one another, like, oh, yeah, like I'm great now and I'm great now too. But it's like, no, it's like, you'll really be like the best versions of yourself and the most real versions of yourself too. So I feel like that kind of plays into stuff you're probably learning in hermit mode right now. So don't get hermit mode wrong. It is a very busy time. It's just a quiet, busy time. It's kind of like invisible busyness. And we have dawn, the light after the darkness. So right now is probably like a dark season that you're dealing with him, because it is so quiet. A lot of the times those quiet seasons can feel like unending. It can feel like unending darkness. It can feel like unending winter in a sense, just like during winter time, it looks like everything is dead. It doesn't really look like anything is really growing or flourishing or happening. But that's not true. The trees are still alive. Just because there's no leaves on them, it doesn't mean that they're dead. Same for your situation. It doesn't mean that the situation is dead. It just means things are quiet right now. Things are rejuvenating. And a lot of the time when that happens, it has to happen behind the scenes. So I feel like that's what's going on right now. It feels kind of dark, but as the saying goes, it is always darkest before dawn. So try not to lose hope and lose faith, because I know sometimes, you've gotten impatient, and I don't blame you. I really don't. I don't blame you with that. I have been in the impatient boat many, many times myself before. So I get it, but that doesn't mean that you should give up. Go away, notification. I don't need you right now. And we have ghost, regret. So I feel like, especially on his side right now, he's probably having a lot of regrets about how things are, how things were left, things that he did, things that he said, things that he didn't say, just bad choices at the end of the day that he probably made. So I feel like he's kind of facing that right now, dealing with that right now, dealing with a lot of his own ghosts, so to speak. So I feel like that's just one of the other things that he's probably dealing with at this time while in hermit mode. So that's what I got for your general. But let me reshuffle up here and get in your love, which I'm sure is going to be, like I said, just more of what we already know dealing with him, because he likes to pop up a lot. He's like, oh, hey, Rachel, I'm still here. All right, let's see. What does Rachel need to know in love? In love, love, love. Love, love, love. Okay. So we have 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords is about a lot of just like conflict and turmoil and disappointment is what it comes down to. So, I feel like, once again, this is probably happening on both sides. It is probably a mutual feeling. I feel like it's something that he's experiencing right now himself. Once again, going back to what came out earlier with that regret card, with his choices and that kind of stuff, he may be feeling pretty defeated. These unicorns over here, they're kind of just like looking down at the ground, and they don't look happy. They look defeated. So he probably feels like that a lot of the time. You may feel like that a lot of the time too, because you're just like, the shadow is barking. That I know he's barking. My phone just let me know your dog is barking from my Furbo dog camera. That may be Amazon. I'm expecting something from Amazon today, so that might be Amazon. I don't know. I'll check it later. I don't think I've gotten any notification from that, but anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so you may be feeling this way yourself. simply from the fact that it's just like, this is taking a while. Your patience is wearing thin. It's just like, I know this connection is here. I know that, he feels this way and I feel that way, and that, we can't really get each other out of our systems, basically. So it's just like, when is this all going to sort itself out? When is this all going to figure itself out, kind of a thing? So you may feel defeated in those times too, like, when God, when? Why God, why? Where God, where? How God, how? Like, I've had a lot of those conversations with the man upstairs myself, where I'm just like, dude. So you may be feeling like that. He may be feeling like that, which is once again why the hermit mode is probably there. We have the Queen of Wands, which is so funny because in your first question, the King of Wands came out, and now we got the Queen. So I feel like you are the queen to his King of Wands, and that when you guys come together, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of passion. You guys probably play off of one another with that energy too. And I feel like he sees that in you, like just like how you probably see some of the qualities the King of Wands has in him, he probably sees these qualities in you, which means he probably finds you very sexy, very magnetic, very appealing. Um, he's just drawn to you. So you guys truly are the perfect match because both of those cards did come out, even though it's different questions, but they connect to each other. That's the beauty of a general question, is you never know where it's going to go. And in your situation, obviously it went into this. And we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is, once again, someone who wants to bring along their cup of love. I know in your first question, the Knight of Cups came out, which is about actually taking action towards delivering that cup of love. The page, he's a little bit more youthful in his energy. He's not as mature in his energy. And he's usually the one who is more so just kind of sitting back, thinking about it, talking about it, but not taking actions going forward, presenting that cup of love. So, considering we had the knight pop out in the first question and the page pop out in the second question, he may flip flop. He may go back and forth. There may be some days where he's just thinking about it, and that's it, where it just stays in his head and that's as far as it goes. But then there may be other days where he feels a little bit more courageous and energized, and he's just like, maybe I actually need to do something. Maybe I need to stop just thinking about this and I need to take action. But this page could be one of the reasons why he doesn't wind up taking that action, because then he flips back to being that page and he'll be just like, no, I gotta think about this a little bit more. And I get that because I've been doing that a lot myself. In my own situation, I flip flop and I'm just like, I'm going to charge forward and I'm going to do something. And then it's like when I'm about to do the thing, I'm like, no, I think I'll just continue thinking about it. And then I just wind up putting myself through anxiety and unnecessary torment because I did that. And there's a possibility that he could be doing the same thing, putting himself through anxiety and unnecessary anxiety with that. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is all about things moving in your favor. It is about your destiny. It is about things shifting and changing into a positive direction. So I know that sometimes, once again, it may feel like things are not going the way that he would want them to go, that it's just moving very slow, basically. But I promise you, it is moving. This wheel here, it may be ticking slowly, but it is moving. It is doing something. It's just like watching the clock when you're in school. It seemed like it took forever and a day for that clock to be like ringing 3 o'clock. And it's like, school is out. It took forever, especially if you were watching the clock. So stop watching the clock. It is moving. It is doing something there. So let me get one more tarot and then I'll get some lovey-dovey messages for you. I know. I knew you would understand that. You're just like, I know, right? Yep. I get it. All right. And we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is basically, he is very spiritual. He's very much about his beliefs and that kind of thing. So that could be another thing that he could be dealing with right now. When I see the Hierophant, I almost kind of think of like spiritual awakenings and that kind of thing. So he could be, in a sense, getting more spiritually deep. So I don't know if he was a very awakened type of person before when you guys were together or not. If he was, he could be just going deeper into that. If he wasn't at all, he could be actually getting interested in those ideas and interested in what exactly that means, like kind of wanting to know the deeper meanings of life and that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people in general have been awakening a lot more and getting more curious about that kind of stuff since the pandemic, simply because people are realizing that there's a lot more to life than just like the way that we were all living before the pandemic. So he could be kind of having this value shift in a sense when it comes down to his beliefs and to, how he sees things on a spiritual level. And that will ultimately be helpful for the two of you in the long run. All right, let me get some love messages. What should we go with here for love? Hi, Shadow. Are you back to put your costume back on? Probably not. He hates that thing. He hates it so much. All right, let's get some divine masculine messages of love just to see what he wants to say, just to kind of see what's on his mind, what's on his headspace right now. So let's have a look at what's going on with him. We have, I was born to be with you. So he does know at the end of the day that one of the reasons why he is here on this planet is to be with you. That, your time is not done in the sun yet, is what it comes down to. So he knows that that is one of the reasons why he's here. So I feel like that is a part of, his life purpose, which is so funny because I know I posted recently that poll wanting to know from you guys, like, what type of readings you guys want to see on here, because I didn't have the ability to post that before, and I'm so happy I can now, because I'm like, yay, I can actually like find out what people want with the poll. And I thought that majority of everyone was going to be like love, 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 and there is a lot of people who want love. But the most popular thing people want is soul purpose. And I think that's awesome, because at the end of the day, soul purpose is much more broad. It's not just about like your career. A lot of people will think like, oh, that's about my career, but it's not just about your career. Your soul purpose is like why you're here on this planet. And that can be very multifaceted. It can be tied to your career, but it can also be tied to your relationships, your connections with other people. You could be on this earth because you were born to be a mom, you were born to be a dad, you were born to be a spouse, you were born to be a good friend, whatever it is. So I feel like that is a part of his soul purpose, is the fact that he was born to be with you. And we also have you are my future. So he does see you in his future. He does see that the two of you being together. He may have to figure out the road how to get there, but I do feel like this is a big one. I know we are twin flames. So like I said, he could be getting deeper into stuff here, because what that Hierophant, like I said, that Hierophant is about like checking their beliefs and checking about, the spiritual side of things. Basically, like he may be getting a little bit more spiritually curious if he wasn't before. And people come across the term twin flames in so many different ways. Um, so all it takes is Google or being on YouTube, and something may just pop up that'll suggest a video to you or whatever it is, and you might click on it and be just like, "Oh, what's this? What's a twin flame?" Blah blah blah. And twin flames are becoming like way more mainstream nowadays. Like over the summer, I was surprised. I was watching an episode of The Hills, and Justin Bobby is talking about twin flames on the hills. And I'm like, what? Like, I thought it was hilarious. So they're starting to become more mainstream than they used to be, more than just soulmates. I feel like everybody always has known about soulmates, but twin flames are starting to pop up there. So um, he may be educating himself. I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. He's educating himself. So he's probably learning what twin flames are. We also have I Love Your Body, which makes sense. If he's the king of wands and you're the queen of wands, that's a lot of fire. That's a lot of passion. That's a lot of sexual energy there. Um, let's see what else we have. You are the one, which I feel like kind of goes without saying. And let me get one more here to see if he has anything else that's on his mind right now. And we have I am learning my lessons, which definitely makes sense. I literally just said right before this card came out, I feel like he's educating himself right now. And, learning your lessons isn't just about like looking back at the past and looking at like, what mistake did I make and how can I improve on that and things like that. Like, that's a part of it. But it's not just about, learning from past mistakes. It's also about like, learning about the bigger picture of things with spirituality and stuff like that, and the twin flames and all those kinds of things, because it really deepens your perspective, it really widens your point of view, and it'll help in preventing any craziness and any chaos down the road too. So that is what I got for you, Rachel. Hopefully that makes sense and helps out a little bit. And yeah, so let me scroll back up here. I think Dina's next. Just gonna have a sip of my coffee in my Shadow and Shine mug. Just plug in my little thing here. Which these are actually available for sale. They're not on Etsy. I think it used to be called Teespring, but now it's just called Spring, the Spring store. But I was like, this is like my business mug. When I sit down and I do work, I use my Shadow and Shine mug. Oh, I just got some nice black lipstick on there. So, oh, Rachel, you voted for Soul Purpose. Yeah, I think Soul Purpose is like probably the best option because, like I said, I feel like it kind of covers everything in a sense. Because chances are, if you are a twin flame, then just being in a twin flame dynamic, just having that situation alone, it's going to automatically pop into your soul purpose no matter what. Like, it's kind of unavoidable. Um, but yeah, usually our soul purpose is multifaceted. I think a lot of people kind of get that confused with like, oh, it's just about my career. Like, it can be, yeah, it can involve your career. Like, we should all have like some kind of mission where we're out there wanting to help make the world better. And if we can make money at the same time while we're doing that, that's great. But it's usually more than that. It's usually about the connections that we have with other people too. So um yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay. Let me check PayPal. I see Seawin is there in Venmo too, but I think Dina's up next. I'm just going to check PayPal to make sure. There's like glitter all over my phone. What did I do? What did I do to it? Okay. Yes, Dina, you are next. All right, let me read your question. I know it's up here at the top. Looking for some confirmation as I am learning to trust the process on the twin flame journey, but often worry that I'm just crazy. Welcome to the club. I understand. A lot of the times we can feel pretty crazy on this journey, but yes, I can pull some cards for you here. Um, just to see what's going on in your twin flame situation, see what you need to know. So we will see what's going on. All right. Talk about confirmation. Well, good. I'm glad any confirmation you can get. Let's bring it on here. All right, Dina. Let's see what you need to know dealing with your twin flame situation. Let's see what's going on. What kind of guidance do we have here for Dina? Because it's definitely a wild ride here. The twin flame journey. Did not ask to be on this one. And anyone who romanticizes it or is just like, I want a twin flame. No, you don't. You want a soulmate. You don't want a twin flame. Oh my gosh. Oh man. First card out is rough, but we're going to keep going to see what else comes out here. All right. So the first card out is the Ten of Swords, which the Ten of Swords to me is about painful endings. It's about heartbreak. It's about things not being easy. So if you are feeling crazy, this is probably why. It's probably because there's been a lot of heartbreak going on. There's been a lot of pain. It's probably felt like your world is ending. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that your world has ended. It doesn't necessarily mean that you and this person have ended. But where things stand right now, it can definitely feel like this. And that's not abnormal. So you're not crazy if you've been feeling like this. I feel like this is just confirmation of like, where you've been at, how you've been feeling, just the pain and the agony of the whole situation, which yeah, that's not fun. I feel you with that. But let's see what else we get here. Let's see if we're going to get out of that pain. Thanks, Heather. As always, sending you so much love and positive vibes. I'm about to step off. Until next time, keep sparkling. Thanks, Rachel. You too. And have a very happy Halloween. So, hi, Ashley. Yes, you're more than welcome to hop on. They are paid readings, just so you know. So my Venmo and my PayPal information are all in the description box, as well as your options as to what you would like to get in terms of a reading. So they're all $10 or under, so they're all pretty reasonable. So there you go. All right, let's see what else we got for Dina here. We have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is all about waiting for your ships to come in. It's about waiting, pretty much, which is usually not a fun thing either. And it's especially not fun when you're feeling like this already. But yeah, with the Three of Wands here, I feel like you're kind of just standing there at the edge of the water, and there's a ship way out there, and you're waiting for your ships to come in. And your ships is basically your dreams, your desires, your relationship with this person actually working out and like them coming to you, kind of a thing. So I feel like this is kind of where you're at right now. You're kind of just like hanging out, waiting. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think waiting, it's not a bad thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that the important part though is to ask yourself, how are you waiting? Are you waiting well? Because you know what? A lot of the times in life, we wind up having to wait for something. And I feel like more times in life, we spend our time waiting than we actually do like doing the thing. Like, think about, speaking of Disneyland here with my mouse ears, think about when you're somewhere like Disneyland. You're probably going to spend more time during that day standing in lines than actually being on rides. But, it's a lot more fun if you can pass the time while standing in line, talking to whoever it is that you're with, maybe playing some games on your phone, just like not making a big deal over the fact that you have to wait in line, because you know what you're waiting in line for is worth it. It's something fun, it's something good, it's something positive. So, you waiting for things to work out with this person, like there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe kind of ask yourself, am I having fun while I'm waiting? Am I enjoying the view here? Am I enjoying my time while I wait? Because if you're being like this, if it's all just pain and agony while you're waiting, it's like being with the 3-year-old that is screaming in the line to go on Big Thunder Railroad at Disneyland or something, and that's not fun. That's not fun when that happens. So, the pain and the agony, I feel like this needs to go. The waiting is okay, but like I said, maybe kind of ask yourself, how am I waiting? Am I waiting well? um it's kind of like active patience. We should be doing something positive and good with our time and our energy and our lives while we're waiting. So let's see what else we have here. We also have the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords can kind of be about like being defensive, putting your guard up. Like this unicorn here has his wand up, and, he's kind of just like standing back, kind of, looking out and everything. So it's kind of about being defensive. And I feel like, especially right now, if you're dealing with a lot of confusion, dealing with your situation, there may almost kind of be this jump to like automatically defend, like, I'm not crazy, or I'm not dealing with this, or I'm not that, or I'm not this, or whatever. And, once again, it's like putting up a defense is like putting up resistance, basically. It doesn't really leave a lot of room for things to kind of just be with ebb and flow and, just go with the flow, basically. And I feel like a lot of that, once again, probably comes out of that Ten of Swords, all that pain and all that agony. Um, a lot of the times when it comes down to dealing with stuff on the twin flame journey, it is about breaking down really bad mental habits, because we all have it. We all have really bad um, mental negative thought patterns that we kind of have to break. So you'll find that a lot of the times. So it's like, if you're being defensive, if you're kind of waiting in pain and agony, none of that is going to help things come along and move along any faster. If anything, it's going to delay things. It's going to derail things, if anything. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like this is kind of where you need to be at right now. Like, this is kind of the goal of where to be, because the Nine of Pentacles is that single, sexy, confident, happy kind of energy. So it's basically somebody who has like all their ducks in a row. They have their life together. They have things going on for themselves, basically. And the only reason why they don't have the 10 of Pentacles is the 10 of Pentacles is that ultimate fulfillment. It is basically having it all in the sense of like, I have it all together on my own, and I have my person here in terms of my partnership. But I feel like for you right now, this is the goal of where to be, is to, have as much fulfillment within yourself and to be good and confident within yourself as much as you can. That's not to say that you can't have that 10 of Pentacles. It's not to say that that partnership can't come along and can't work out. But it really doesn't have a way of coming in if you're not already in this Nine of Pentacles energy, if you're not already like okay functioning on your own and like living your life and thriving and stuff. It's totally okay to, crave that partnership and want that and everything, but it's like, we can't allow it to control our lives and be the thing leading our lives in everything. So it's got to be a shift from the pain and the agony of the situation to standing on your own ground, standing on your own 2 feet and being like, yes, I can do this. I got this. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I'm confident. I got this all on my own, kind of a thing. And going forward from there. And happy Halloween to you too, Ashley. I'm cooking for my Halloween dinner, so I'm sorry if I don't respond during my reading. No problem, Seaweed. Ooh, a Halloween dinner. It sounds like Thanksgiving for Halloween or something. All right. Oh, that one just flipped out. So we got the King of Swords. So the King of Swords basically tells me that you could be, there's a couple different factors here. You could be, number one, dealing with someone who's an air sign, because swords usually indicate like that air kind of energy. So they could be an air sign. If they're not, I feel like even more so what this card probably indicates is, number one, this person is probably very much so in their head about things, that this is someone who probably is very mental. They use their mind a lot in terms of like how they think about things, how they view the world, how they process their emotions, how they make their decisions. I feel like they probably come from a very cerebral kind of place. Very logical is what it comes down to, which is a great thing. Like, it's good to like use your mind and use common sense and everything, but the negative drawback is they don't really tap into their emotions very much. And because of that, the King of Swords can kind of come off kind of cold and kind of icy and unfeeling. So if the times when you do interact with this person, um he could wind up acting that way, not because he's like trying to upset you or anything, but that just may be a part of who he is and how he is and his personality. But once again, if that's not how you receive necessarily in terms of communication, it can be very heartbreaking. And then you're just like, but he doesn't really understand me. He doesn't really like feel things here with me. He's more cold and everything. That doesn't mean that he doesn't care. It just means that's kind of like how he presents himself. Let me get one more from the tarot, and then I'll pull some oracle cards for you on it. Hi, Star Moon. Happy Halloween. Is there a chance you can get a yes or no? I'm definitely open for questions, but they are all paid readings today. So all the paid readings are $10 or under. It just depends on what you get. And my PayPal and Venmo are in the description box down below. And we have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, I feel like kind of coincides pretty well here with the Ten of Swords, because basically with the Five of Cups, it's really about like crying over previous disappointments is what it comes down to, because this unicorn is focused on these three cups down here, which have all spilt over. So the unicorn is very sad about that. It's very upset about this. However, even though there have been these missed opportunities and things that have not worked out, the problem is the unicorn doesn't notice that there are two full cups right over here, perfectly available to it. Wonderful, amazing opportunities for it to have, happiness and love and success and all these other things. But the problem is the unicorn is so focused on those disappointments. It's like, I'm just going to ignore the good stuff over here. So I do feel like, especially when dealing with the twin flame, when you're dealing with those times where you're heartbroken and it seems like everything is over and everything has ended and everything is bad and negative and down and stuff, that's the times when we're focused on all of this. But, once again, staying in this place is not going to do you any good. Once you turn around and you face these two over here, it'll get you into that place of having that confidence that you need. And you're going to start feeling better. And you're going to start seeing the fact that it's not all over, and that there are still opportunities to work things out with this person. It may take time. It's probably going to take a lot of work, a lot of patience, um, a lot of, healing and dealing with yourself, basically. But anything that's worth having never comes easy. Um, so that's the thing you got to remember. Like, your opportunities are not over here. And especially for something that's truly 100% meant for you, is nothing can ruin that. Nothing can take that away from you. If this is a God given divine connection between you and somebody else, nothing can come in between that. It doesn't matter if there's like another person that pops up, or there's like physical distance that comes up, or the two of you are just totally awkward towards each other. It doesn't matter. Like, all of that can be worked through if this is truly meant for you, because nothing can possibly stop that. There may be road bumps, there may be obstacles along the way, but it'll always come together in the end. So try to look for where there are still opportunities and where there's still hope. One of the best ways to do that is to think about what there is to have gratitude over dealing with the situation. The more thankful you are about, like, just the fact that you even have this connection in your life, that alone is something to be thankful for. And the more grateful we are about things, the less crazy we're going to feel. Let me get some oracle cards, though. We'll go with the Halloween oracle. Since, like I said, it's Halloween, we'll get a few more messages here to see what we need to know with your twin flame situation. We have forgiveness again coming out, which, you know, like I said, that's not uncommon to go through. And not just with twin flames, but with anybody, like anyone that you are in close connection with in life, basically. um you know we have to forgive one another in any kind of relationship, not just twin flame, but anyone that you're involved with, especially the closer you are to somebody, the higher the chance is they're going to hurt you. They're going to upset you, even if it's not on purpose. And if that's the case, you got to forgive them. And you don't forgive them, you forgive them for you. So that way, then you're not keeping yourself, with that ten of swords, heartbreak, heartache energy, where you're basically keeping yourself in an emotional prison. It releases you, it frees you, is what it comes down to. And, in any relationship, I feel like the most successful relationships are basically where two people come together who are very good forgivers, is what it comes down to. So you got to get really good at forgiving. Um, so yeah, I definitely feel like there's some forgiveness there that probably needs to happen. That'll probably help in loosening up some of the pain there, some of the agony that you've been dealing with over the situation. We have the owl, wise seeing, wise action. So, owls are very wise, obviously. And I feel like being in this dynamic that you have right now, you're developing a lot of wisdom. Because obviously being with a twin flame is not for the faint of heart. Most people don't know what they're asking for when they get into that situation. But I do feel like you are gaining a lot of wisdom right now, that you've probably been growing in ways, mentally and spiritually and emotionally, that you haven't probably gone through in your entire life. So this is probably something that has, really been changing your perspective on a lot of things. You've been getting a lot more wisdomous, is what it comes down to as a whole. And then because it says wisdom seeing, or wise seeing, wise action, number one, it's going to change the way you see things for sure. It's going to change your perspective on things, because it's going to give you more of a mature way of seeing not only your person, but the world as a whole. And because of that, because your perception will be different, the way you view things, your actions will start to be different too. The way that you approach life, not just dealing with your person once again, but with everything, with how you interact with other people, with what you're doing when it comes down to like work and things like that. Like it's all going to just change. um I've known my person a very long time, but we also had like 20 years of separation, and then when he came back, like I didn't think I would ever be sitting here doing readings on YouTube, but that's a part of my transformation, and it's because of that situation dealing with him. And who knows where it could possibly take you. I feel like it definitely kind of takes everybody somewhere when it comes to that, but in a way that it can definitely help more people in a lot of different ways. So let's see what else we got here. Whoa, come here, card. It just flipped out. Ancestors, the love and legacy of our DNA. So I do feel like, your ancestors, your guardian angels, people from the past and your family line and everything, they have your back. They're looking out for you in the situation. They're leading and guiding you behind the scenes, even if you don't necessarily realize it. So I do feel like you do have support, that you do have encouragement beyond what you can see. And, especially thinking about like ancestors and family and that kind of thing, your twin flame is a part of your soul family. So at the end of the day, it's all connected. They are a part of your family too. And on top of that, this could be a time where you are connecting with other people who could be soul family as well, to help you on this journey too. Because, being in a twin flame situation, once again, it can be quite a struggle, and it can also feel very isolating. It can feel like you're all alone in it, just because it's not something that people typically go through on a regular basis. Most people who are around me, they're married, they have their kids, blah 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 blah. It's like we have our white picket fence and we're fine and we're normal. And I'm like, well, that's great, but I am not normal. And so it's like most people that I know that are in these situations, it's like I don't know them personally, like face to face. I know them, here, like across the internet and stuff, just because it's not a common situation. It can feel very isolating, but you're definitely not alone. You have the support from your ancestors of the past, and you have support of soul family who is here, right now, and is very present. So definitely lean on a community. That will definitely help you as well. It'll help you with your growth. It'll help you feel supported, feel loved, feel encouraged. And you may wind up finding yourself helping others. Like the further along you go in your journey, then you may wind up maturing to the point where you're just like, you know what, I can help this youngster here who just got involved with their twin flame. I can help them. So it comes full circle. And we have ghost, regret. So I do feel like, once again, probably you and your person, probably on both sides, you guys both probably are carrying around some regrets about things that were either said to one another or not said to one another, or done to one another, or whatever it may be that happened in the situation. But I feel like there's probably regrets on both sides. If there is, once again, that's probably where some of this forgiveness could probably come in handy. Let me get one more here for you. This is so right on. Well, I'm glad it is helping. That is for sure. It can be very complicated. I get it. Not a fun situation. And we have skull of darkness, blind spots. So, blind spot, obviously it's something that's there, but you don't know it's there. You don't see it necessarily. And I feel like a lot of the times our blind spots can kind of be our weaknesses because we don't see it. And a lot of the times our twin flame can be our weakness, is what it comes down to. And they're a weakness because they trigger us. They trigger us in ways no other person on the planet would normally do that. Like, for myself, for example, I have one very basic, teeny tiny thing I know I need to do dealing with my person. And I could easily do this dealing with any other person on the face of this planet. But with him, it's like I freeze up. I don't do the thing. It becomes a big problem. And it's because he's my blind spot. He is my weakness. He triggers me like other people do not. So chances are this person probably does things to you that makes no common sense and no logic, because with other people it probably wouldn't be an issue, but he's probably your blind spot. And there's nothing wrong with that. That just means that he is there to help you work through that thing, is what it comes down to, because it's there for a reason. And there's stuff we got to work through. It's that trigger and healing thing is what it comes down to. So hopefully that helps you out, Dina. I feel for you. I really do. I get it. It's chaos. I just want to see people like come into union and actually work their stuff out. Because like it breaks my heart to see so many see so many people in separation and struggling and stuff. I just want to see people come together and be happy. So there we go. Blind spot to me means wounds that are deep and still unconscious, yet to be revealed and healed. Yeah, no, that's completely true. I totally agree with that. But the thing is once again, your twin flame is going to come in and be the one to show you those wounds that are not healed yet. That's why they're there. They trigger those wounds because they're going to bring them out like no other person is going to bring it out. Which still makes that person like your blind spot, because they're going to show you where those wounds are. And that part is not fun. And that's going to take you right back to that 10 of Swords energy there, of feeling that pain. But I think the important thing is, don't ignore the pain. Like, feel it when you're going through it. Like, that's okay. It's okay to feel it, but don't stay in it. Feel it and then heal it. Then it's time to be like, all right, I got to approach this now in a healthy way and get better and end that painful chapter, is what it comes down to. Thank you so much. I'm coming out of heartbreak, and this makes total sense. Oh yeah, he pushes on them like a bruise. I don't know. Was there? Yeah, that is true. And you're very welcome. I'm glad that helped. And hi, Chelsea. I see you there too. Sagittarius Officius here, Divine One, Chosen One, Starseed, Empath, Psychic, Divine Healer, Warrior. Well, awesome. Welcome to the live, Chelsea. It's good to have you here. Feel it, then heal it. Yes, exactly. Because that's the thing. Like, a lot of the times, like, people, will be like, I'm not going to feel it. I'm just going to heal it. But if you don't feel it, you're not really healing it. Like, you're kind of just sweeping it underneath the rug. You're kind of ignoring it. Because if you don't feel it, how are you supposed to know what you're actually healing? So unfortunately, you do kind of have to feel it first. You can't ignore that part and then heal it. You're very welcome. And big hugs to you too across the internet. Big hugs, Halloween hugs. And I got to take these ears off now because they are like pinching my head. I love them, but they pinch my head after a while. So that's always been like one of my big challenges. Whenever I would go to Disneyland and I would wear my ears, I would be like, I have to wear them all day because it's Disneyland. And then I would be like, and this is starting to hurt my head, especially if I'm like trying to balance the mouse ears on top of like having sunglasses on, and it just becomes too much for my head. And then when the pandemic happened and Disneyland reopened, then it's, have on your mouse ears, have on your sunglasses, and have on your mask. It's like that's too much to put on your ears. It's too much. Too much. Hi, Hearts Love Joe. Welcome to the live. Thank you. Thank you for the like and the subscribe. Happy Halloween. Just so you know, I am doing paid readings only though. So I'm not doing free readings. Usually when I come on here, that's what I do. I do paid readings, but they are only $10 or under. So they're not like crazy expensive. The cheapest one is like $3. So, it's like running out to get your coffee basically. If you can afford to go to Starbucks, you can afford to do like a tiny reading here. So anyways, yeah, PayPal, Venmo, all that kind of stuff is in the description box down below. And yeah, otherwise I'm going to scroll up and kind of see what else is going on here. I think Seaweed is next because I've been checking my phone between Venmo and PayPal because I've been taking the questions in order of the payments as they come in on PayPal and Venmo. So I think Seaweed is next. But if you do want a reading done, go ahead and submit a payment, and that way then you'll be locked in. And I'm just going down. That's how I'm going down the list. I'm going down it, checking through PayPal and Venmo, and that's about that. And having a sip of my coffee. So yeah, I think Seaweed is next. Let me just refresh PayPal here since I'm already in that. All right. Let me go to Venmo. Because like I said, I think. Yes. Seaweed. I don't know if you're here still or not, Seaweed, because I know you mentioned going to make dinner, but this is here for you whenever you get back if you're still working on dinner. November, whatever messages come through. All right, so November messages for Seaweed. All right, let's see what we got. November messages for Seaweed. What's coming up for Seaweed in November? I am actually going to work on a November pick a card here soon for you guys. I know I haven't done one yet. It's probably not going to be up like before November because today is the day before November, but it should be up in the next day or so. I just have to actually do the reading because I definitely want you guys to know what's coming for November. It's crazy. We're going into November soon. Where did this year go? Oh my gosh. All right. So we have the Four of Pentacles coming out first for you, Seaweed. So the Four of Pentacles is kind of about being guarded, basically being a little greedy, a little guarded, a little protective of what we have. So this could be you during the month of November. You could feel a little guarded towards what it is that you have, depending on what is going on for you right now. It could be like quite literally in regards to finances because Pentacles can be about money. So, maybe right now is maybe kind of like a penny pinching time for you, or maybe you're just like, I just want to save my money. I just want to like have a little nest egg here. I know the holidays are coming up, so people are probably trying to put away some money for, gifts and things like that coming up. If it's not in regards to money, it could just be like you're feeling protective of yourself, of your own space, of your own time, of your own energy, just like not wanting other people to come in there and kind of, expose yourself to energy vampires or anything like that. But either way, it's definitely kind of this, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to keep what is mine to me kind of a thing. So there may be a little bit of that going on in the month of November. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we also have the Devil. So it seems like there's going to be some karma that needs to work its way through things in the month of November. So not exactly fun. This could be the reason why, though, you're feeling like you need to be protective and on guard when it comes down to things dealing with yourself. It could be because of whatever's happening here with the karma. Um, so there could be some people around you who could be like energy vampires or just having toxic behaviors and not what was that? I don't know. Check that later. Um, not having like the best of intentions towards you and that kind of thing. So this karma here with the devil could be the reason why that Four of Pentacles is there and feeling a little guarded and protective and just, wanting to keep to yourself. Um, so it sounds like November could be a little bit of a roller coaster ride. I'm not sure what's happening planetarily in November. I try to pay attention to like what's going on with the retrogrades and things like that. I know we've had some things coming out of retrograde, but I'm not 100% sure what's happening there. Astrology it still in some ways goes over my head. I've been trying to learn a little bit more about astrology lately, but still kind of goes over my head. But yeah, this is not going to be an easy month, Seaweed, because we also have the tower. So it seems like once again, there's going to be some chaos happening in the month of November. Maybe this is just going to be some insanity that needs to get itself out of its system before the holidays kick in. I don't know. But the tower could be very much so connected to the devil energy here, to whatever karma is happening that needs to be worked out. So it seems like something here is going to have to be shaken up and changed, because usually the tower comes out when something is not stable, something cannot sustain itself. It's like the ground has to kind of shake itself, have a little earthquake, and everything comes tumbling down. But it doesn't come tumbling down because it's like God is trying to hurt you or anything. It does that because it needs to be rebuilt. It needs to like build itself on solid ground. It's like if something was built on a bunch of sand, yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to be sustainable. But if it's rebuilt on rock, then you're going to be okay. So that may be something that may be happening during the month of November. So I feel like anything that wasn't sustainable, anything that wasn't solid, anything that wasn't good for you, anything that had a lot of toxic qualities to it, is going to come tumbling down, is what it comes down to. So this karma, it could be in a lot of different things. It could be in regards to money, finances, a relationship. It could just simply be a way of thinking. It could just be like thought patterns. So try not to be scared by this, because I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, she's got the devil, she's got the tower, like she's got some scary shit going on here. I don't feel like it's saying like, oh, your life is going to be terrible in the month of November. I think it'll be challenging. Challenging, I feel like, is more so what it will be. It will be challenging, but I don't feel like it's going to be like, oh my gosh, my whole life is terrible. It's going to be challenging, but I do feel like you will wind up working through it. Um, it's going to be challenging, is what it comes down to, even if it's just internal stuff, because sometimes it's not even about something falling apart in our physical world. It could be something internally within yourself, which once again could be where this guarded kind of thing comes from. You could just feel protective of yourself during this time. um, so yeah, you'll probably know better than me what that might be in regards to, because like I said, it could be anything. It could be love, it could be work, it could be something within, it could be your family, it could be a lot of different things. But like I said, things will get rebuilt from that tower. It doesn't just tumble down for nothing. And we have the Knight of Pentacles coming through. So I do feel like everything that's happening here with that devil and tower and all that kind of stuff, it's happening because it's a part of the process. And the Knight of Pentacles here, he is slow, he's steady, he's the slowest mover in the deck, but he always crosses the finish line. He always makes it through, he always gets to the other side, he always accomplishes things, he always wins. He's steady, he's solid, he's reliable, he's stable. So I do feel like at the end of the day, you're going to find stability at the end of this. It may be quite a journey in a sense, because it may feel like it takes forever at times with, the Knight of Pentacles being as slow as he is. But I do feel like you are going to find stability when it comes down to this, is what it comes down to. And we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is about rushing in and communicating a truth, which is interesting. So there could be a lot of truths that may be exposed during the month of November for you. And they're going to be like messages and communication that's going to come in swiftly and quickly, because the Knight of Swords, he moves quick. Like, obviously you can tell there's a big difference in movement here between these two knights. He's taken like a nice little walk, like a nice little stroll through the park. And the Knight of Swords here, though, he's got the wind flowing through his mane. He's, running. He's galloping through the hills, basically. So they're two very different speeds here in regards to these knights. So I feel like the process as a whole may take a while, but it will stabilize everything that's going on here with these changes. And part of the changes is going to involve communicating truths. And who knows, it could be truths that are spoken, truths that are shared, that may wind up causing this karma to be disturbed, basically, disturbed and destroyed, and make that stuff come tumbling down. But it's like they say, the truth will set you free, but those truths may need to happen, whatever that's in regards to, whether that is facing some truths in a relationship. It could be facing some truths in a work situation. Like, maybe you got to share something with your boss and be like, hey, I need a raise, or whatever it could be. But I do feel like there is definitely truths that need to be shared there. And you have justice coming out. So I do feel like at the end of the day, November may be a little crazy for you. So definitely buckle up. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. But I do feel like at the end of the day, there's a point to it. You're going to have justice. It is going to all work out. It's not like you're just going to be left hanging, is what it comes down to. So hopefully by the end of November, heading into December, you will find justice in the situation. Let me get you some oracle cards, and I'm just going to continue with the Halloween oracle since it's Halloween. So, yes, you reap what you sow. That is very true. Hi, Baba. Who will be NPR Butyl next Sunday at the wedding, me or Manel? Well, just so you know, and I've just been letting everybody here know as they've been popping in here on the live, readings are paid only. I'm not doing free ones. So if you would like a reading done, you are welcome to submit a payment through PayPal or Venmo. That information is in the description box down below. And all readings are $10 or under, so they're not very much at all. The cheapest one is only $3. So it's kind of like if you're able to run to Starbucks and get a coffee at Starbucks or something, you can get a reading. So, it's not that bad. I try to make it reasonable for people. Anyway, let's see what you need to know, Seaweed, here for November from the Halloween Oracle. We have the Witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. So, whenever I think of weaving things together here, like the weaver of the worlds, basically. It's kind of like you are your own magic manifester, because that's kind of what the witch does. She's got well, I know it doesn't like show a cauldron necessarily on this card, but she's got like, it looks like a ball of fire. There's like a ball of energy or something going on there with her hands. But she's basically creating, is what it comes down to. It's like she's creating something there in between her hands. And she's able to do that with her intentions and with what she's thinking. And um a lot of the times when it comes down to like casting spells or whatever, that's a way to manifest something. And spells or whatever, that doesn't, we're not getting woo woo here or anything, but spells don't necessarily have to be just like in the literal witchy sense. A lot of the times, like a prayer, as like a simple prayer, is even like casting a spell, basically. Like, a lot of people don't realize that, but it really is. It is casting a spell, basically. So what it comes down to here is you are able to create your own life, like your own world, is what it comes down to. You are your own magic manifester. You can kind of like weave in and out between, one reality to another. So don't forget that as you're going through things during the month of November, because what came out with your tarot cards were definitely a little chaotic. But you do have the power to manifest good things out of it. So don't forget that. Don't lose the power when it comes down to that. And you also have the mummy here with change. Clearly, when there's a tower card that comes out, that's a huge indicator of change. So there's changes happening for you in the month of November. Like I said, it's probably going to be a little rocky. I don't think it's going to be like, life alteringly terrible or horrible or anything like that, but it may be challenging. And usually changes are challenging. Even if it's positive change, even if it's good change, it can be challenging. Um, it's not always easy. So, this is going to be a month of change that is going to be happening for you in the month of November. Let's see what else we got here for Seaweed in November. We have Cauldron, which is funny because I was literally just saying here with the witch, like, there's not a cauldron in this picture, and now you got the cauldron. Synergy and healing. So, more than likely, whatever happens here in November, especially through this tower moment and stuff, like I said, it may be a challenging time, but I feel like it's going to be a time of healing as well. Because you're gonna work through it. You're gonna work through this, especially with the fact that that Justice card also came through. This is just going to be something that, it's almost like it's something that is fated, like something that has needed to happen in order for there to be this healing that needs to come through. I almost grabbed the wrong deck there. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I already did the tarot cards. All right, let's see what else we got. And we have Barmbrack. Barmbrack. I'm like, am I saying this right? Barmbrack. Sweetness and synergy. So you got sweetness and synergy, as well as synergy and healing. So it seems like there's a lot of synergy happening for you during the month of November. And especially with sweetness here, I feel like it's saying that, the justice that comes from this will be sweet, that there will be sweetness that comes out of this. Once again, it may be a challenging month, but there will be victory. There will be something positive. There will be something good on the other end. That one just flipped out. I barely did anything, but I'm going to take it because it flipped out. And we have the skull of the stars, infinite possibilities. So even if you are going through struggles during November, try to remember that the sky is the limit, that there is infinite possibilities when it comes down to things. Even if it seems like the world is ending and that things are just not going well, that things are not going right. Um, it's never over. It's never over when we think it's over is what it comes down to. So there are still possibilities. The sky is still the limit. Try not to limit yourself and put yourself in a mental prison over things, even when things are difficult. So just to remember the sky is the limit and you'll be okay. Justice will be on its way and things will work its way out so it can find its sweetness to you. So that's what I got for you, Seawind, for the month of November coming up for you. I'm gonna have another little sip of coffee. My voice is like getting scratchy in here for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Let me check Venmo and PayPal really quick. Oh, that's what that was? I was like, what was that text that came in? It was a text message from Papa John's, a coupon, a coupon for pizza. All right, so Venmo is good. Let me check PayPal really quick, and then I'll check in the chat here, see if there's anything I missed. Okay, so we're good right now on paid readings. But let me go back here and see what's happening in the chat, see if there's anything that I missed. Yes, happy Halloween to everybody. um, so I'm just going to go back and read really quick. I don't know who's still in here or not, but I'm just double checking. And if nobody else comes in for a paid reading, I'll do a little general reading for whoever is here. So I feel like some of these people probably like came in and left, but that's okay. It happens. Oh, da, 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 da. Okay. So I don't know who's still here because I can see there's one person that's watching, but that's okay. This will be for basically whoever comes along to this reading, whether they're here and now live or they decide to watch the playback later on and they just want like a general reading. I'll just do a general Halloween message with the Halloween Oracle for whoever decides to pop in right now. Because why the heck not? So I hope you guys are all having a very happy Halloween. I can't believe November is next month. So I'm a little early when it comes to Christmas. So like tomorrow, I basically take down all my Halloween stuff and I start putting out my Christmas stuff. But I don't care. So I'm so excited for that. It's going to be so good. All right, let's see what we got here. So what do we need to know? General messages for Halloween. Oh, the Skull of the Stars is back out. This one we just had for Seawind, and it's back out now just for whoever is here and whoever decides to watch the playback of this later. Infinite possibilities. So, right now is a magical time, you guys. Especially with it being Halloween. The veil is very thin today, especially when it comes to things on like a spiritual level. So, you may be able to connect well with loved ones who have passed and things like that sort of nature at this time. And even for like the next few days, even after Halloween, the veil will still be pretty thin before it thickens back up again there. But either way, right now is definitely a magical time. And it's always a good reminder to never limit ourselves, basically, to remember that there are infinite possibilities, whether it is in life, love, or anything else. We should never put ourselves in a box and put conditions on anything, because chances are whatever it is that we're thinking in our situation, we could probably expand on that and go so much bigger and so much bolder and so much better than we know or realize. So, whatever situation you're dealing with right now, think bigger is the best way I can describe it. Think bigger, because the possibilities are endless. So, yeah, that's a good start. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know in general right now for whoever comes along? This one wanted to pop out. Spider, community and web weaving. So, community and web weaving to me is about connecting with others. It is about community, basically, our friends, our family, wherever it is that we socialize with people. And that doesn't necessarily have to just be, our friend group or just our family or whatever. It could be on the internet, it could be connecting here with others online, just being here on YouTube with you guys. This is a community. My channel is a community. When you're on your own personal Facebook page or your own Instagram page or whatever it is that you have out there, that's your community. When you're scrolling through the feed and you see people's status updates and stuff, that's your community. So I feel like, this could be a good time to socialize with people and to connect with others. And especially over the past couple of years, we've all had dealing with this pandemic. We've all felt a little lonely and isolated and not connected. If anything, we've felt disconnected with others because of this pandemic. But I feel like now is the time to reach out and communicate with others, especially if it's someone maybe that you haven't talked to in a while. Maybe now is the time to, just pick up the phone and say, hey, how are you? It's been a long time. How have you been doing through this pandemic thing or whatever it is? But I feel like there's definitely a time to step outside the box there and socialize with others, maybe people that you normally wouldn't connect with before. So I definitely feel like there's an opportunity to do that. That could be a part of where there are infinite possibilities. There are infinite possibilities to connect with people, to have community with others. There's no reason that any of us should have to do this life thing alone, by ourselves. We were built for relationships, we were built for community, we were built to be with others, and we have mummy change coming through. So this could also be a season of change that you guys are experiencing as of this moment. The change once again could be in regards to discovering that there are infinite possibilities out there for you, as well as the community and web weaving here, connecting with others. So there's a lot of changes that are currently happening, a lot of changes that are occurring. Like I said, the changes could be different for everybody, but there's definitely a change in the wind there. It could be how you're connecting with others. That's for sure. Let's see what else we got going on here. Pull a few more. And we have Barmbrack. Ugh, I can never say this one. Barmbrack coming back out again. Sweetness and synergy. So there is a bit of sweetness to the air, I guess you could say, when it comes down to things, especially when we are, once again, connecting with others, communicating with people, working on our relationships and everything. There can definitely be a sweetness in that, especially if we're like working on ourselves, we're healing ourselves, and we're having like good connections with others. That is where we can find true sweetness in our lives. We can find blessings and good things in these connections. It doesn't have to be all fear and drab and dread and all kinds of stuff, it can be good things too. So I feel like if you have been struggling, especially in like social situations and connecting with people, you're probably going to experience a change soon where things are going to start moving into a more favorable place. Things are going to get good, things are going to get better. So there could be that coming up right now. That one came out. And we have hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. So once again, I feel like the happiness in our hearts and homes, once again, are probably connected to our relationships, to who we're connecting with. Because, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, having a successful career is awesome. Having money to support yourself is good. But at the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world and you can be totally set for life, but you can have a totally empty, meaningless existence if you're not surrounded by people that you love, basically. So I feel like, once again, this could be a time where there's change happening at home and connecting with others at home. This could be like very personal relationships, family, friends. A love interest, basically. It could be about just like making your home nice and warm and cozy, especially with the holidays coming up. People are going to want to be connecting with others, and they call it cuffing season for a reason, obviously. So people are probably wanting to come together, basically, and make things nice and homey and good and cozy for this upcoming season that we're heading into. I think I'm going to pull a couple more and then probably wrap things up here. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is such a good one. I may just end on this one because it's actually a really good one. So we have joy, rejoicing in the present. Oh, that's definitely a good one. Joy, rejoicing in the present. And, that's the funny thing about joy. Um, I think it's interesting that they chose to put the word joy here instead of the word happy, because happy and joy, to me, they're kind of like, they're relatives. They're almost the same thing, but not exactly. It's like they're fraternal twins or something. Because to me, happiness, it's feeling good, obviously, but it's more so on that surface level. It's more so on that shallow, superficial level. It's like, oh, I just won $10 on that lotto scratcher. That made me happy. Or my this pair of shoes that I've been wanting forever and a day just went on sale. That makes me happy. Like, those are good things, but they're not like the things that are basically going to sustain you for the rest of your life. The things that are going to sustain you are more so the things that come from joy. And joy is like having that happiness and having that peace in your relationships, or in your purpose, in your being, in yourself, kind of a thing. So joy to me is much deeper. It's not as superficial as happiness is. So finding joy in all of our circumstances, even when we're going through a difficult time, can definitely be challenging. But I find that the more grateful we are, the more thankful we are. um My voice is trying to go again. Um, the more grateful and thankful we are, the easier it is for us to have joy. The easier it is for us to have that. And joy is contagious. It's like, if we find that for ourselves, then we can kind of like, like pass on the joy. Like, don't pass on the COVID, but pass on the joy to others, basically. It's a good infection to have, the infection of joy. So yeah, you want to be able to pass that on to others, because so many people are brokenhearted and going through struggles and going through challenges, and we're all going to face that. We're all going to go through that. But I feel like perspective and attitude is half the battle. And if we can do it in joy, that is going to make such a big difference. So I feel like, even if you're struggling right now, you can find joy through your struggles, and that you will find even more blessing and even more abundance and even more good things and even more joy on the other side of that struggle. Because remember, we do have a lot of changes going on, and change doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be scary. It can definitely be good. And I feel like there's that sweetness that's coming in for you guys. And remember, the sky is the limit. There's infinite possibilities that you have right now. And you're coming together with other people, your community, getting in depth there. And your home is going to be in good shape too. So, at the end of the day, tap into that joy. So that's kind of what I got for you guys right now, is like a little general for the moment. But yeah, I think that's basically it. I'm just going to wrap things up here, you guys, now. I'm just going to double check PayPal and Venmo, make sure I didn't miss anything, because I would feel bad if I logged off and then someone was like, I paid for reading and you left. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I won't leave anybody hanging like that. If I were to, then I would probably just send you a private video then, just for your reading. But hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, we're all good. I got everybody. All right, you guys. So that wraps it up here for me today, this lovely Halloween day. I hope you have a very happy Halloween, and thank you for joining me for this special afternoon live edition that I normally never do. I normally never go live in the afternoon, and I normally never go live on a Sunday, but I was like, it's Halloween. I got to go live because it's Halloween. Like, how can I not? So I'm glad I was able to do that and come on here today. And I'm going to try and post some more videos here a little bit more regularly. I know things have been kind of crazy. I do hope to be live on Wednesday night this week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is the normal time when I do go live. So I do hope to be live then. Yeah. And hope to have some more pick-a cards and all that good stuff. And thank you for those of you who have voted in the poll once again that I have in the community section. If you haven't voted yet, go ahead and vote over there, because it really helps me in knowing like what it is that you guys want in terms of readings. There's like 4 or 5 different options there for what you can choose from. If your option isn't there, let me know in the comments what it is that you guys want to see in terms of readings. So anyway, I'm done rambling here. Thank you guys for hanging out here with me. Mwah. Love you all. Happy Halloween, and keep sparkling.